you have entered the garden, a glimpse of the garden, as the Sufis say, and you don't care about the pictures anymore, actually, because you know that Allah is communicating to you through it with, again, real meaning, real rationality, real guidance, real... that is when you start to feel the divine presence, because the divine you cannot grasp the infinite unless He took to you from behind the veil, or by a sudden inspiration, a sudden insight, the aha moment, the knowledge that you get sometimes. So the Quran says Allah will not talk to you except from behind the veil or by a sudden knowledge, inspiration like that. Or a sudden warning. Sometimes it happens. We call it the sixth sense or so, because we can't name it. That's why mothers, for example, may feel that their child is in danger, and he turns to be in danger, even though he's far away. But this sudden feeling, or a warning, or sometimes it is a preparation, because Allah wants to prepare you for something is happening and wants to help you go through it with an inspired dua or something, or He wanted to give you knowledge about something. So we have to be careful also with this level. And when we start to accept Allah and surrender, this is when we truly surrender, whatever good or bad is happening to us, hardship, and so we say Alhamdulillah, even though we don't yet understand it. There is a level after that comes with that, it becomes a blessing. Even the hardship becomes a blessing. But at this level, you are the servant who is accepting whatever Allah gives with a content, secure self. It's for a good purpose. And you ask Allah, what do you want me to learn? Give me guidance, give me knowledge, give me strength, and so forth. Yes.
You mentioned now the relationship between al-ma'rifah and al-mushahada.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit? Does it take ma'rifah so you can recognize al-mushahada?
Yeah.
This is what
He's talking about like gnosis versus witnessing. Do they go hand in hand? Some people may start to have the witnessing, but they don't have yet the knowledge, the knowing. And so you have to have the gnosis. Know it's the presence of Allah, and recognize the meaning, the message that He's communicating to you, to understand that it is truly witnessing, that it is truly a genuine spiritual experience. And it is very actually overwhelming, intense, that you would know. If you're in doubt, then it is not. Because it will be overwhelming, No. Sometimes it is subtle, like a subtle inspiration again, that warning you against something, or a dream that gives you good news, like something subtle. But gnosis sometimes comes also very intense, that leaves no doubt. And that's what we aspire to sometimes, to ask Allah to help us to know without doubt, because Allah can do this for us. That's the good question, yes. So the accepting self, why I call it the universal soul, because this is when you also experience the oneness with everything, You experience being that we talked yesterday about the extending or expanding your sensation. This is when you experience this oneness, this unity. And it's universal because you start to see the universality of everything. Everything, again, is a presentation of Allah, and you connect to it in that level. So this is the level of the malakut. It is the witnessing that everything is a presentation of the qualities, and you also understand their meaning. You're contemplating its meaning. So you start to grasp the meaning and messages, and it will make rational sense. It will make rational sense. Like a person once was sharing that was talking to one on the internet, and as a Muslim or someone of the past. So she asked, like, how did you become a Muslim? What is your story? He said a story. And during the conversation, which it took actually many days, she started to feel something is not right. I have this, I pray about it and things like that. There is this subtle insight that something is not right. Until something very compelling was telling her, go check this story online. Thanks for the internet. Checking this story, it turned that that person was lying. He had took it from a published newspaper with a real story for another person. So things like that can happen because you're now with Allah and Allah will start to show you the unseen. You're just hearing someone's words, you don't know. There is an unseen part to it. There is no way to know. With only intellectuals, with sensation, you have your eyes reading the story. Your mind, it makes sense. Your intellect cannot go beyond that. But Allah can take you beyond that. Then you see that which is absent from immediate recognition. Of course, no one is living in that state all the time. And so that is what we always aspire to. That's our inner jihad. And if we're there all the time, as the Prophet said, then Shalaby, you will greet the angels on the streets and you will not be able to function in the world to some degree because you will always be flying. But of course, it's a spectrum and many people have it than more the Sufi sheikhs and the people who give us the wisdom been receiving from Allah, from the spirits of the prophets and giving it to humanity. So, and that's why you read in their stories many of these mystical things, because they started to experience it. And so it is not anymore a belief, but it's a verified belief. Tahqiq, realization. And then realization also needs actualization, that you take action in the physical realm based on that knowledge. So eventually it has to translate to actions too. Whether to share this knowledge with people, whether to take certain actions of precautions or things like that. And nafs al-mardiyya, the pleased, the self that made to be pleased.
This is the nafs.
Al-mardiyya. The self that made to, you can call this also we call the heart, the intellect, there is the sir,
Secret.
the secret. And then the concealed secret, the sir al-makhfi or what? Al-khafi. This is when you gain this spiritual experience, not only with the qualities, but with the divine presence. That is the essence of the divine. And it integrates all of those in the experience. So in the experience, you're feeling all of this, and it's extreme ecstasy and fulfillment, and that some people cannot hold themselves. They become majzoob, they become attracted, and they become like almost to the regular person, they lost their mind. Some of the Sufis go and say this poetry, like Al-Hallaj, he said, Ana al-Haq, I am the truth, because he wasn't there. He was only aware with the divine presence, the divine essence, and that everything is nothing, including himself is nothing. So they can utter things. It is called that they are, the wine is the description of it, and they became like a drunk. They are unconscious of the word, so they say these things as the analogy of a drunk person, that people cannot understand, that confuse people and all of that. Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam and many other Sufi said there is a state or a station or a state, because it's usually beyond that. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was in the ascension journey, he was offered milk as a drink or wine. He chose milk, and the angel Jibreel told him, if you have chosen the wine, your ummah, your followers, your nation would be ruined. Because if you are always in this ecstasy and say, I am the truth, like Al-Hallaj, many people got confused. He got killed. He couldn't, he achieved his mission for some people who could understand him, who have a taste of what he's saying. But for the majority of people, he had to do the Sharia law. They accused him of blasphemy, and he got executed. So the Prophet then, there is what they call the super state. Like, you're not anymore drunk, even though you had experienced this ecstasy and this drunkenness and this fulfillment, but you go back to people as a wise person who talk to everyone in according to their level. You still get rejected by some, but the effect will be more that people can understand what he's saying. And this is the state when the person turns and be able to start to share this knowledge with people in a wise way. And again, this is what we strive for. It made pleased because it is experience Allah's own joy. So you experience that divine joy, the pure knowledge, the purity. That's why we called it Safa, clarity and the purity together. Sufism, it means in Arabic. It means in Greek, some people say it is derivative from Greek, which means the wisdom, but it also means Safa. The Arabic language means clarity and purity at the same time. It's this pure rationality, pure sensation, and it comes also with a sensual aspect to it. Such as when the Prophet ﷺ said he experienced his heart got opened, and the angel took his heart. It comes with an actual sensuality to it, because it is integrating. That's the integration of the whole being in the experience, in an existential experience that is the potential of every human being to come to. And the level afterwards, it said the integrated level, Insan al-Kamil, that he started to integrate all of that, and he's not anymore a monk, ascetic, but he is very involved in the world. Most of the people, unless they become majzub, as we said, and just be in the bewildered, and they may inspire some, this is their fate. There are others who are able to come back and actually help transform the societies, reform and awaken people from their slumber, and help to transform the society and bring true knowledge, true wisdom, true peace. They are the peacemakers, and that's what we strive for. And so this level, you can't even name it. This level, witnessing, it involves your imagination. But this level, you can't put a name on it, because it involves your consciousness. Can you describe what is consciousness? Life. It is life itself. Can you experience? How can you describe life? For the intellect, it is, whatever, the body dies, there is no life. But for the people who experience this, there is something beyond the physical, and it's the pure consciousness, the pure liveness within you. You can't describe it in words. It's that mystical aspect. And your very essence is the spirit from Allah. It is that consciousness, that life, that you can't describe what it is. I can describe you, your height, your hair, your this or that, but what make you Raihana? Like, what make you that soul? If we all made of atoms, and is it the shape only? And what marvel is that you connect these atoms that is elusive and almost non-existent to give that appearance. Because again, without it, we will not be able to recognize or discern anything. If it is all light, how can you see anything or grasp anything or experience? So unless it comes to a dense way with boundaries and finite, that allows your spirit to know. So the whole purpose of creating you in the body is to know, is to come to know Allah through knowing yourself, through knowing what life is about, what is worthy and everlasting in life. And you can learn that and extract that from what is perishable and limited and physical. Distract the everlasting from it. And let the rest go. We have difficulty letting the rest go because the sensation is so intense that we get attached and we get in the fear because that is all we know. Once we recognize there is that beyond what we know, and it is okay, Allah had taken care of us so far and He will continue to do so. In the womb we were just a bunch of cells, and He made you, He provided for you, He secured you, and He continued to do so. Yeah, He gave you the hands and feet, asked you to walk, so that you can have more experience. Not that you think yourself became independent, because you're not even independent physically, as we talked yesterday. You're always dependent, and you're dependent on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.